Take two! Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Squared Slice. I am none other than your friendly neighborhood, easily distracted, Blood and Soda. And of course, as always, joined by the habitually injured Dustin Dubuque. How's it going?
Well, I'm not the concussed one of the group right now, so I hit my
Yeah.
mark.
When I hit the intro video, like I said to Dustin, I got distracted by realizing I was in the wrong brand, so I had to switch over, and I got distracted, like, oh shit, all the pictures from last time are still here, and then we started the show, and then Dustin's like, we're not recording, are we?
God, it's a good thing I paid attention. We'd have been 20 minutes in before we even noticed once we get going.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of myself in that moment.
Yeah, very much so, man. At least someone is awake. It's also I had the excuse of it's allergy season, so my brain is mush.
Oh, is that your excuse?
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. I become like the best way to describe it is like Rocky, like later in life, like very punchy, you know? Like
Yeah.
I kind of become that.
Because you're just nonstop.
Well, yeah, nonstop sniffling, like, and then sometimes I get these massive headaches, and something's just so plugged up, I'm breathing through my mouth while I'm talking. It's like, oh my lord, it's been like that since I was 13, so coming on 21 years this summer.
Yeah. I know. Me and my wife. The pollen in Wisconsin's terrible right now, so I just itch my eyes constantly.
Yeah,
so
and the pollen up here, this is the worst I've seen the pollen in a long time.
Really? Yeah. Our cars are yellow every day.
Oh.
Because there's just so much in the air, and that's why my eyes look the way they do, because I just scratch the crap out of them. So
mine is primarily like one side is swollen, and then sometimes I'll like switch to the other side. It's really weird.
Maybe it's because you look like you were in blood and guts tonight, from what I saw.
Oh god, yeah, that was an amazing match. Like, I mean, the first one was great because it was very reminiscent of the original War Games, but this one was just a bunch of guys beating the living piss out of each other. Like, this is the modern take on that War Games, because you had broken glass, you had Eddie Kingston just walking towards Jericho, just go.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hilarious. You had like all those things, barbed wire bats, everything, like all the newer elements of hardcore wrestling were incorporated, and there's a bunch of guys beating the crap out of each other. Oh, it was great. Like, the Jericho Appreciation Society were bleeding like stuck pigs.
Yeah, I was following on Twitter and watching like some of the clips of the spots and stuff, and oof.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, I'm a weakling on blood, and man, there was a lot of it.
There definitely was. Oh yeah, no kidding.
I'm shocked. I will admit, I am shocked that gets on TV before 9:00. I really am. I mean, I messaged you, for those who didn't watch. Moxley did the CZW like skewers.
No, man, I can't. Was it Moxley?
I think it was Moxley. It was. Yeah, he did it to. I don't know who did it to, but like, God, for TV before 9, that's pretty brutal.
It is, but you got to remember though, this is also not the TBS of old.
Yeah, but even then, I'm still like, man, that is pushing some TV right there.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but I got to say, I'm glad that we're getting it on free TV, because that's I know people do complain that AEW gives away their big stuff every once in a while, but it's like, as someone who likes watching that type of stuff, I'm glad
of course
support every freaking time.
It is, and they would make a lot of money off this match.
Oh god, yeah, this the headline to pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's why it's interesting that they do give it away, and why. And the one thing I did ask somebody of why they would give it away 4 days after a pay-per-view is an interesting. It's an interesting decision, considering what you just put on, and you put on this big pay-per-view, and then like 4 days later you shove them all into a cage on TV.
I wonder if now this might be just my brain overthinking this, but I wonder if it might have something to do with when they had to book the arena. Because obviously, when you're doing your seating plans, like you know this, you book events when you have to find venues based around like what you imagine your seating plan.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and Forbidden Door kind of came out of nowhere. Like, what was that?
So I'm wondering if that's just more coincidence than anything else.
Yeah, it could have been. They could have had that on the books a long time ago. Hell, they could have had it on the books before Forbidden Door ever happened.
Exactly, right?
So I guess that's a really good point. So did you watch Forbidden Door then?
Yes, I did. I did watch Forbidden Door. It's one of the shitty things about Sunday though is I couldn't finish the pay-per-view live.
Okay.
But no, no joke. despite the buildup and all the speed bumps and gullies and disappearing off cliffs that happened on the way to Forbidden Door, it was a damn good show. Like the matches were top notch, and as someone who's I'm not really exposed to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like really, my experience with it is talking to Dagan over in the Dropkicks.
Right,
I was impressed by a lot of these guys.
Yeah,
I'd seen Okada before, like I'd seen a couple of those guys, but overall, I was like, damn, these guys are great.
Yeah, the only thing that I am shocked by the pay-per-view, like, and I didn't watch it all. I watched a few of the matches that I was interested in, and it does shock me that like they underplayed Okada to me a little bit. The dude is Roman Reigns in Japan.
Really,
he's been this huge all-star.
Like I knew he was a big.
I mean, he is a big deal, and I was shocked when they shoved him in a 4-way. Like I was just like, that is interesting to me. And again, who knows the politics behind the whole shtick? Is
right.
We all know New Japan has a lot of those. So, I assume they did it to hide Okada in it because they don't want him to lose. They don't want to make it obvious that he's going to win because New Japan ain't letting Okada lose on Forbidden Door in America. It's just they're not doing it. So maybe that was an easy route, but it's just I don't know. I was a little surprised that it's him and not, but maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, who else would you want fighting for the title, right?
Well, and I said this a couple of weeks ago that I thought the booking of the interim title wasn't the best. No. I mean, who thought Mox was losing to Tanahashi?
You know what? There was that part of you that would have appreciated the balls if they did that.
Yeah, but they weren't going to do it. No, they just weren't going to do it.
Unless Hangman Adam Page won the IWGP title.
Right, but it just, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was an interesting. I mean, I did watch Orange Cassidy, and Ospreay, and that was really good.
That was a fun match.
That was the one everybody blew up, so that's why I had to watch it. It was good.
As an FTR mark, I really enjoyed the triple threat.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was what you expected from those three teams, and as somebody who's not got much Roppongi Vice in me, I thought I'm assuming Roppongi's like a suburb somewhere in Japan or something. Like I don't know what the meaning of that is.
Yeah, I don't either. What else was on the show?
And then you've got the four-way match for the AEW All Atlantic Championship, and you know what? I was surprised that Pac won.
So am I. I thought this was Black's moment.
Yeah,
because Black came over to AEW with a lot of credentials.
Yeah.
He's on TV every week. I mean, always. And he has been since he debuted. Like, he's one of them people that hasn't, fallen off for a few weeks, hasn't, he's always there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought this was the perfect thing.
I thought it would be Miro.
Right, with the comeback and stuff. Right. I mean, that makes sense, too.
Yeah. But kudos to Pac. That means I won't be surprised if they go the way I think they're going with all the different promotions, some of that. I think I couldn't think of anyone better than Pac because he can wrestle a lot of different styles.
Yeah.
And this Clark Waters guy, I mean, didn't know who he is. I
had no fucking clue who he was.
Yeah, he's I guess relatively new.
I guess he's new, right? He's like their new up and comer, is what I was told.
And he wasn't bad. Like, I mean,
okay.
I could see him doing something in the future. He's not bad.
Cool.
Yeah, and of course the Bullet Club with dudes with attitudes, which I saw that name, I was like,
God.
Paul Orndorff came back from the dead? What?
It sounds so like 1999.
It's very 1990.
90.
Because that's when, it was Great American Bash 1990. Was they had the Dudes with Attitudes team.
Yeah.
God. It was a very short-lived team.
Gross.
Yeah.
I like, I like as you said, Varsity Club, right? No, Gun Club.
No.
What did you just say they just wrestled?
Oh, Bullet Club.
Bullet Club, Jesus. God. Told you, I'm tired. My eyeballs are getting at me.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
worries.
I mean, that's okay, whatever. I'm over it. Keep going.
Honestly, probably my favorite thing of this match was Sting's entrance.
Yeah, I saw that. That was cool.
There's a picture floating that Sting uploaded on his Twitter account. It's just him in midair leaping. I'm like, it looks like my dog.
Yeah.
But it's just a badass picture of the 62-year-old man just in full makeup and trench coat. It's like, right on, dude.
Yeah. He's having fun.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, yeah, it's great. And also I gotta love that the Young Bucks did this double super kick and Sting no sold it like only he could.
I didn't see that, but yeah.
Yeah, they did that, cool. And then it took a triple kick it took a triple super kick to get him down. And there was Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm, which this was a great match. Honestly, it could have gone either way because I mean, it seemed like they were hyping up Toni Storm to be the next champ. But I mean, also Thunder Rosa still relatively fresh into her run.
Yeah, I think they should keep it on Thunder for a while.
Agreed. And this honestly was a fun match. Like it's what you expect these two. I thought it was. Now this one, Orange Cassidy versus Will Ospreay for the IWGP US title with a fun little bit that Juice Robinson stole it and they wrestled for no belt.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that when I watched it.
Yeah. And this is the match they brought out Jim Ross for commentary on. This was a fun match, watching Will Ospreay dealing with the shenanigans of Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, man. You know, Orange Cassidy's not my thing, but man, good for the people who do love it.
He's not my favorite thing. Like I don't love him. Like
no, I don't either. But God, he can. That crowd.
I respect what he can do to the crowd because it took a long time to get on board, and now that I get it, I'm like, he hit something.
He does hit something. He does not hit it for me, but I mean, there's no denying that he hits something, and like I mean, Jim Cornette says it that he's the mascot, and you know what?
Kinda.
He is.
Yeah,
he's kind of the mascot, and mascots are goofy, but they're popular.
Yeah. And he's one of the most over people in the company.
Yeah, and he constantly is just by doing his shtick. Like 3 years in, and again, I knew him a little bit on the indies, so I knew the shtick.
Yeah.
But like, you're 3 years in, and it's fine. Nobody cares. It's the same it's the same thing, and people are just kind of on board and are into it. And give him credit for it.
It's good for him. In a way, it reminds me of Danhausen because they're both very shticky characters. Right. But then they just flip it on in the ring and then they can go.
Yeah. I mean, Orange Cassidy's a hell of an athlete, too.
Oh, 100%.
He is
everything that he can do with his hands in his pockets.
Yeah, he's a great athlete. And he's super smooth, too. I mean, he's really smooth.
Yeah. But then, of course, the high spot after this was when Shibata came down to the ring.
Yeah. And again, I wish I could say it super interests me, but I just don't. I'm just not a big New Japan guy. So
you don't know who Shibata is because I read.
I barely know who he is. No, it's just not my thing.
He's a legend. Unfortunately, he had a very severe injury in the ring a couple years ago, and he's very rarely been in the ring since.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I know too. And I did ask a buddy of mine who does like New Japan, kind of like you have Dagan. He said he was for a while a huge deal. But
I believe it.
Just like everything, you get older.
Looking at him, I'm like, okay, I can see that he was a huge deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw a bunch of people blow up about that, but yeah, I'm sorry. I just am I'm ignorant like you are. I just don't know enough.
No, yeah, that's perfectly okay. We're man enough to admit, but we don't know shit.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, next up, wow. Now, talk about something that everyone knew was going to happen, but it was still cool to see it happen. Zack Sabre Jr. versus none other than Claudio Castagnoli.
Yeah.
Who I gotta admit, I'm all here for his theme song.
Yeah, I heard it tonight. I had to look it up on Twitter.
Yeah, it's got that. It does have that like simple plan, like era type deal to it that I'm all in.
Yeah, I love Claudio. I mean, I am just. I've always been like the biggest Cesaro fan, and I liked him on the Indies, and I liked him told you off camera. I was a big Chikara guy for a couple years.
Yeah.
So I loved watching him there, and
like I told you, I only know Cesaro, so this is new to me to see Claudio.
Yeah. And
I watched the video of Eddie Kingston, and I was like, okay, I got to go back and watch their Chikara stuff.
Yeah, it's so good. He has a couple matches with like Mike Quackenbush that's really good, nice. and he's just good. Yeah, I mean he's probably the number one free agent that I would like to see. I mean, obviously, I was well aware of me loving him for a decade in WWE, so I'm going to be more interested than I have been because I really do like Claudio. In all honesty, though, just cut Castagnoli part off. You were just known as Cesaro for 10 years. You
Yeah,
can just be Claudio.
it's true.
It's so much better that way.
Yeah,
But yeah, I thought it was interesting that they let him squash Zack Sabre Jr. though. That was probably
I wouldn't say it was a squash, but I mean, because Sabre got his stuff in. But yeah, you're right. It was more lopsided than you would expect.
Yeah.
But I've never seen Zack Sabre Jr. before. The dude, how the hell? Transitions between submissions is like, my God.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff. I've watched probably of all the New Japan guys, I would say Zack Sabre Jr. is the person I've seen the most stuff by.
Okay.
I've watched some Ospreay, but like Zack Sabre Jr. when he was really hot a few years ago, like 4, 5, 6 years ago, God, his stuff was everywhere, and people were really going crazy.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I mean, I kind of got caught up in the buzz about him because people were so into him.
Yeah, and apparently these two have a history.
Apparently, from what I was reading online, but yeah, no, I didn't know, but yeah, that's cool to see Cesaro again, another talent that I don't know what they're going to do with. So hopefully he stays on TV. But again, there's so many injuries right now. Their roster, I saw a list on Facebook the other day. I should have screenshot. Did you see that list? Somebody went through, and it was crazy. I bet you it was 15, 16 people long.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
People I forgot were injured. People that I didn't realize were injured.
Well, you can take Anthony Bowen off the list because he revealed he is not injured.
Yeah, that was that. I think that was even on there as like a
and
joke.
Of course, the Danhausen curse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oops.
Well, did you see that?
I was going to say, I completely made a DV character based on Danhausen called Fergalhausen. Yes, I did.
Funny.
Yeah, and his charisma rolls are plus 13, so good luck.
Yeah. And then oh shit, what was I gonna say? It doesn't matter. But yeah, no, it's interesting. I'm excited. Oh, did you see that Dax Harwood came out and said that he's hurt? He separated his shoulder.
Yeah, I saw that. But
he's out
tonight, so no, he's not. He wrestled tonight.
Well, wrestled tonight. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, Cody just set a precedent now.
Yeah,
you can go suck it up and go, but yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting. Yeah, we'll see. I know we'll say it probably in a second, but
that one was a little weird because the way things are nowadays, how they, I don't know. That one feels just a little weird to
me. Yeah, I don't know.
And then of course you got Adam Cole joining them last night. And then you find out Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly. And then tonight Santana and then Blood and Guts, and then hopefully not, but it looks like Eddie Kingston as well, because you could see him when they were showing them after the match was over on top of the cage saying, Claudio, I can't get up just now, my back's fucked. Pretty much.
Interesting. Yeah, because Santana, I heard, didn't get back in the match, right?
No, he wasn't on top of the ring, and I missed what happened.
I found out on Twitter, somebody posted their video from the crowd, and it said like Santana's been down for minutes and they're working on him, and they said it's his leg, so they must have just rolled him out.
Huh? Yeah, because I lost track. I didn't even realize he was in the match at one point.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because then what's left on the Forbidden Door card was that 4-way.
There's 2 matches now. Because we just did the obviously Claudio and Zack Sabre Jr. Now there's the IWGP World Title match. Jay White, Adam Cole, Hangman Page, Okada. I thought this was a fun match. Played into the history of everybody involved. It was very. It was, let me put it this way: it was peak WWE storytelling, match storytelling, if that makes sense.
Sure.
The way back in the day, how they were able to intricate all the relationships into the match and stuff like that. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I watched that one too. I thought it was good. Obviously, the complete mess up of the ending will forever haunt that match. But
exactly, that's the only thing that leaves an asterisk. But that's after Adam Cole. I think they said it was a concussion. So
I mean, he didn't wrestle tonight, did he?
No, Young Bucks said that he's injured tonight because the last one's left. Everyone's injured, and they said, and Adam Cole's injured. So
yeah, that was weird. Yeah, that was a messed up finish, but shit happens.
Yep, and then of course, finally we had the main event, the match for the AEW Interim World Heavyweight Title: Jon Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. Oh my God,
I didn't watch it.
So.
Not interested. In honesty, I'm not really interested in Mox. I don't think I think he's a poor choice for this. I think he's a poor choice to be the champ. Granted, again, they have a lot of people on the shelf, so I mean, it's tough.
That, and I mean, if anybody, I don't know, there's just something about him versus Punk and the build and the anticipation and Moxley. Well, no, Moxley is like Punk, where he's got the crowd on him with him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do get.
I don't need Mox bleeding on my TV every week. No, and, I watched his portion of that match where he bladed for literally no reason, and I'm like, you don't need this. Stop.
Which got rebusted open tonight, but I think
I saw that, which I'm sure is fine. But for blood and guts, it makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I get it, and they're also paying Moxley like $5 million a year, so I understand. But I don't know. It's a tough spot. There's Bryan's out, Punk's out. Big names are out. You need a champ.
It's one of those. It's the interim tag is something that's hard to make work, and I think Moxley can make it work.
I guess we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out to see who they're gonna put against him to get.
Yeah, in the Royal Rampage. I'm like, how's that for a name, huh?
Oh my God, they're coming to Minnesota.
Yeah,
and in a couple months, and oh my God, the name for the show is so bad. Why? I don't know why they have to name every show now. Like it was like. I'm gonna look it up. It's like because Minnesota's known as the land of 10,000 lakes. That's their the slogan, and it's something kind of like that, and it's super sticky. I'll find it quick.
Really, the only thing that made this that kind of deviated away from the match was the ending, where all the Jericho Appreciation Society came down, all of the Blackpool Combat Club came down. You had the little bit of kerfuffle between Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli, which spoilers. Was put on the shelf for the match tonight, but they planted seeds for something that I thought was interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So do you want? So spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen the ending for Blood and Guts. So on top of the cage, you've got Matt Maynard, Chris Jericho, Eddie Kingston, Claudio Castagnoli. Jericho took a big swing on top of the cage, which was pretty cool to see. But Claudio put Matt Menard and a sharpshooter, while Eddie had Jericho in the stretch muffler, that submission that he does.
Yep.
Because that was the whole thing going in is I'm gonna make Jericho submit to end the match. Like, I'm gonna make him tap. Claudio made Matt Menard tap.
Oh, okay.
Like, what the? You can tell he was like bummed. And it's like right there, I was like, oh, they just planted something. This is going to be the next few going forward. And then it's like, okay, maybe it looks like they're going to hold that off on that a little bit. But you see that coming back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like anything with Claudio, so.
Yeah. I just liked it because it just plays more into that long-ass Eddie Kingston rivalry.
Right.
It's another thing that Eddie could use.
But you're like one of the few people that know this exists, though. Like... This cannot be this popular.
Well, no, it's not, but they are talking about it. They were talking about it, like not at full length, but obviously they were making mention to it. Like they are probably educating people. And I mean, I am seeing chatter now that Claudio is in AEW. Like people are starting. I've seen some talk about what happened. And I mean, looking at it, it's like I always thought it was actually for real, but looking at it, it's like maybe it's a long work, like maybe it's a long storyline telling.
Right.
I don't know. I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something. It's interesting.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I kind of like that ending. I'm like, that could potentially be long-term storytelling right there. But who knows?
Sure. The show in Minneapolis is called Quake by the Lake.
Oh,
that's gross. Boo. That's WWE right there, man. That's bad.
Yep. Yeah. Ew.
I know.
Yeah, that's almost as bad as their the castle one that's coming up. I can't remember, but I know it's
bad. Oh yeah, that WWE is that you talking about the Carter
Castle or something like that?
Yeah, that one's bad too. Why? Yeah. Why do they have to have names? You don't need to have a name. Stop this. Wrestling's already goofy.
Or if you're gonna name it good.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like I just couldn't help myself. Like. You and I talk on here that sometimes wrestling's so stupid, but it's so fun. When I saw the Sammy Guevara bump, I'm just like, I just love wrestling that there's this huge square.
That all like, hey, look what's there.
How magical that there's this monstrous AEW thing when the cage match is happening.
Yeah.
It's just that stuff
I
is
will
just so
say
funny.
it came off better looking than last year's did.
It did.
Because it's
It
Sammy.
Yeah.
And what I found interesting is they actually mentioned Hell in a Cell 98 without mentioning Hell in a Cell 98, but it was one of those everybody knew what they were talking about moments. Because they're all up there and they're on the edge. And who was it? It was either JR or Regal. One of them has said, oh shit, it's like 1998. That's all they said was it's 1998. And if you knew, you knew, which probably every wrestling fan knows.
Yeah, right. Did you see that, just because you kind of alluded to 98, did you see Undertaker announced his first one-man show event?
No.
I saw it on Twitter. It's like in a month or two. It's like somewhere in like Tennessee or something. So it looks like he's starting to do the rounds.
And you know what? That's a guy that literally everything is new because up until the Hall of Fame, you didn't hear nothing.
Right. Yeah, I think he could get going for a while, like really. And the amount of guys that are now starting this stuff, like just more podcasts and more stuff is just crazy.
Like in the last couple of weeks, we've had Mick Foley, William Regal drop new ones. I'm really enjoying Mick Foley's because I just love the way he tells a story. And
right.
like I bet I don't know if I mentioned to you, but I realized I'm Mick Foley. No, basically, the way
you kind of are Mick Foley.
I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, you kind of are Mick Foley.
Right down to the 300 pounds. No, so yeah, so there's that. And actually, you know what? I wouldn't mind listening to the Undertaker one because if you watch the Hall of Fame speech, he's a good storyteller.
Yeah, and even when I watched the Hall of Fame speech, I thought, I'm like, okay, he's prepping for something. I mean, just the way he's doing, like, he can tell funny stories while do the DDP thing where you're enacting this positive attitude through your. I'm not surprised by that.
Me neither.
Well, did you see the other part?
Still, one of my favorite things from that was when he said, what he calls Paul Bearer an evil man because only evil man would put cucumbers in your drink.
Oh yeah, that's so funny. It's true. Cucumbers are disgusting.
Really? Like
yeah, they're the worst. And why would you want them in your drink?
Oh, in the drink, yeah, but I just like to eat them.
Ugh. Did you see who else is getting a podcast? Brad Armstrong is going to have one.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. So, like, a old school buddy of mine was like, this dude's been in, like, every promotion in the last, 35 years, so...
Yeah. And he comes from, long lineage, the Armstrong boys, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that'll be an interesting one, I think, as long as he can be good. I tried to give Road Dogs a listen a couple times. He's a little dry for me. I need to have a little entertainment.
I never started his.
Yeah, I don't know. The reason why Bruce's went over so well and started the boom, right, is because nobody heard from Bruce. Nobody knew Bruce's stories. Nobody knew this stuff, and then, that's the tough part I have with Foley's too, and I haven't listened to it yet. And I probably will once maybe he gets past these first few episodes. But, I don't know. So much of this stuff is so out there. It's like Road Dogs. A few of his are like, when DX invaded WCW. I'm like, oh, God. Like, what can you talk about? It's been destroyed and dissected. And that's the reason why I'm excited for guys like Brad Armstrong and, Bruce's. And I love, Briscoe's for that stuff, too. Is the ones that are a little harder to get. The ones that are a little harder to get to.
Yeah. No, I understand that. And I mean, Foley's, he has dropped a few things that he's, weren't in his books or whatever, and stuff like that. And it's interesting to hear his take on it. What now? 20 odd years after he wrote that first book. So
right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and coming up, he's going to be talking about the Backlash, WrestleMania 20 and Backlash 04. That's this week's episode. So I know there's stuff out there in WrestleMania 20, but I don't know how much stuff's out there in Backlash.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for his the deeper hits because he is a good storyteller and he does remember a lot. And I think he's like Jericho and wrote a lot down.
And you know what? I wouldn't do the first one because that's on the Cell 01. You know what? I would do 2 and 3 because he's talking about his first year in the WWE, and it's interesting to hear.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, I've read his book like a dozen times, and there was still stuff in those episodes that I'd never heard before.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to give that a listen then.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's just because they go particularly they go into his relationship with Vader, particularly in this last one because it's taking place. Or I think it's about its first WrestleMania. So he's teaming with Vader at that time. So he definitely goes more into his relationship with Vader and stuff like that. It's a good episode. Good listen.
Okay, well, I'll have to check that one out then.
And also, the way he ends every episode, which I love, is they do a live cameo recording.
Oh, that's
it's
cute.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to give it a listen.
Yeah. All right. So this I like a pay-per-view on Saturday.
I do too. I just had a couple buddies complaining to me that they don't like it.
I like it because it means I don't have to leave the pay-per-view early for D&D.
I just think it's more sports feel.
Right.
Like,
and
it's
you get away
to be
with a longer show.
Right. And yeah, I don't know. I like it on Saturdays. Yeah, I think Sundays are much worse.
Yeah, Sundays is just, I don't know, it's just, at this point it's just like, it's so ingrained with it, it's like whatever, but there's just, I won't be, have WWE's pay-per-views all been on Saturday? No. Since WrestleMania.
No, they have not, but the big PLEs are. I think that's the point. Because the Money in the Bank, like we talked about, was supposed to be bigger than it is.
Yeah.
But sales were a little low. They pulled Roman off the card, and
there was threats of snipers outside the building again,
Yeah. No, that's about it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the match card. There's only 6 matches. Again.
Good. I love this so much more. And that was, honestly, again, I know we talked about this with the last AEW pay-per-view, but the one biggest complaint I saw again on Twitter was the length. Yeah. Everybody's like, why are we prepping for a 5-hour pay-per-view plus the pre-show? Like, I saw that coming up. Like, even people that I follow that really like AEW, they're like, one thing we like about WWE right now is cutting the pay-per-views, making them faster, more like all the way solid. Not every match needs to go 17 minutes. So I've so far liked the formula.
Me too. My threshold is usually about 4 hours where I start to get restless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am with you. I'm glad for it because Hell in a Cell was just under 3 hours.
Yeah, spectacular.
Yeah, because I remember going to D&D afterwards saying, "Oh my god, I just watched this amazing match."
So I'd assume with two Money in the Bank, there's 6 matches you said.
Yeah, so okay, let's go run down the card. So for the Raw Women's title, they got Bianca Belair versus Carmella because Rhea Ripley got injured, and they never actually said why.
They said she has brain injury.
What? Okay, I missed that. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. That's as much as I read into it. But yeah, she had something. Doctors pulled her, and now she's got to get tests and stuff. So that's not
shit.
Yeah, that's not great.
That sucks. Well,
speaking of injuries, just because before we started, did you see Kenny's quote?
Yes, where it's like he's another setback like this. I'm done wrestling. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, I remember one of my wrestler friends that I have. He told me like a year ago, randomly, when we were talking about AEW, and I'll never forget it. He goes, "I think Kenny's hurt." And of course, we're fans. We don't watch wrestling the way people that actually do it do. And he goes, I can just tell by the way he moves, by the way he's doing stuff. He seems like he's favoring. And he's a big Kenny guy. He knows he's followed Kenny. And then like slowly it started to come out that Kenny was hurt. And he's like, I fucking knew it. Yeah. He's like, I could just tell that he was beat up. And I mean, he probably is beat up.
Well, the litany of injuries that he had, it was just like, holy shit.
And he's been nonstop. He never stops.
For 2 years? No, for a year he was wrestling like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that could be really brutal. And I mean, that's a big blow if he really is that troubled for AEW.
Yeah, my God. Yeah, that's brutal. Like, I mean, I hope, or because I wanted to see if I can find.
Yeah, so, but I do, you know what? We've said this on here too. I know a lot of people dislike Carmella. I don't. I think she's fun.
Yeah,
I know what? Everyone's
hand to be put in a position like this.
Exactly. Thank you, Soda. Everybody's so mad. Why? So Carmella is a good employee. Mm-hmm. Why can't she just get a moment to go for the belt?
Out of it, please. Like that's the only thing I'm like I'm over that.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was fun until they made it known on TV, I guess, because that's when they really started leaning into it and kind of making it
just. Yeah, I know Corey. Do you listen to his podcast at all?
No, I don't listen to as many podcasts as I used to. Just I don't have time.
So I only listen to his when he has somebody on I like. And this week he had Jeff Jarrett on.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll listen to that. Corey has a really smart first 10 minutes because you can tell obviously that he's seen and heard the backlash about his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he goes in this long thing about kind of what you and I were saying of this is how it works. If you're a good employee, you follow the rules. You say yes. You go out and do what you're supposed to do. You get over. You know, X, Y, and Z. You get rewarded. And he goes in this whole thing about Carmella's getting rewarded.
Yeah.
That's what she's getting.
You can complain about the booking all you want because that's pretty much what people are complaining about.
Yeah.
But she earned her keep.
Why
She's not the princess of Staten Island anymore. She's a 2-time women's champ. Right?
And her Carmella money stuff with James Ellsworth was awesome. It was some of the most fun. I remember being so into them. I was Carmella to me now is must-watch TV. I was so interested in them for that year. It was the greatest thing.
Yeah, they gave us moments like her winning the first Money in the Bank twice.
And I still love that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm good for her. It'll be fine.
I get it. It's obvious you need to put somebody in there who better than Carmella. She's not going to lose anything from this.
And Bianca just keeps, trucking along.
Trucking.
Yep.
Okay. So next up, this one's interesting because we still have it's Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Omos versus Sami Zayn versus Riddle versus to be determined. Now, of course, this is for the men's Money in the Bank. Now, what's interesting is there was supposed to be a match between Kevin Owens and one of the Samson clan, either Ezekiel, Elias, or Elrod, apparently.
Yeah, Elrod.
But it turns out Kevin Owens is also injured.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, so I wonder what they're going to do. I've really thought about it. I'm I don't know if they're going to pull.
Unless maybe it was such a minor injury that you get away with doing it on Friday.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of who. It has to be somebody from Friday.
Well, it can be anybody because they really don't do that goddamn brand split anymore.
Yeah, not really. I mean, somebody could come over and do it, but
the way they're pushing along Ezekiel, I almost called him Elias. The way they're pushing him, it makes you think that he's going to be in it.
You would think so. Yeah. It only makes sense that Ezekiel is, or Elias, whatever way they want to put in. It only makes sense he's in it.
Yeah.
But maybe if Owens is injured, it's just easier to hold off that completely.
Maybe.
And find, I don't know, somebody random. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But they need
Ricochet. Just fucking throw Ricochet in there. He's always good for a few highlights.
Especially considering the big boys they got in this. Drew, Omos.
Yeah, you need someone to throw around.
Zayn's fine doing it, but I know I really wish we knew the other guy.
I would throw Riddle in there as well.
Yeah, Riddle's so freaking awesome.
Oh,
I love Riddle so much.
After the way the events with him and Roman Reigns played out, I'm on the boat of I want him to win this so he can find that loophole to get that win.
Yeah, you think so?
I would
love it
more than that.
Yeah, I thought the match between Riddle and Roman also was great.
Yeah.
And that was in Minneapolis. I definitely should have went to that.
And it makes you wonder if maybe that was a test for Riddle.
Yeah. I think he's super over with the Office, and people love him. There is so many 420 shirts in the crowd. It is crazy.
Guess what? Mine is. I finally got an email saying it's getting ready to ship.
God.
2 months later.
That is so long.
That is why I rarely order anything from WWE. One of the two reasons I rarely order anything from WWEshop.com because it also cost me $61 for that damn shirt.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's
so I'm probably another month.
It's an awesome shirt, though.
It is. I had to get that.
I cannot wait for you to wear it. I'm so excited.
So many of my friends are like, "Yeah, it's a pretty good shirt."
So who do you think? So who do you think wins this? Who do you think's getting it? I mean, is it Drew? Okay. Is it just that easy?
No, because you already called out the challenge for the Clash of the Castle. You already did that.
Okay.
Sheamus, no. Omos, no. Sammy. It comes down to Riddle and Rollins. It really does.
I throw Sammy a tiny bit in there.
You think?
There could be so much fun stuff if he wins the briefcase with Roman.
True. That
would be so fun. Because I love this whole Bloodline Sammy thing. It's pretty entertaining.
Basically, anything Sami Zayn touches is gold.
But I think they should just give it to Seth. I mean, Seth is going to be flag bearing right now. He's super popular, and he is a little safe.
Yeah.
Riddle's not safe. You know, I mean, I still don't understand why they're doing AJ and Miz and not having AJ with the belt, but I can't. I cannot get over this.
I will say this though: if Rollins wins and he cashes in at SummerSlam, my God.
See, we talked about it 2 weeks ago. I think. You know what? But honestly, I could also say I was thinking about that today. I was daydreaming a little bit when I was thinking about talking to you. I'm glad you brought it up. But I also thought of like, you know how WWE books Brock. Yeah. I am starting to slowly jump on the train that he might take one of them belts from Roman.
Yeah, they have to in this.
Brock cannot lose again.
But not just that. We've gone how long without the titles on TV?
And I'm okay with that because if Brock gets it, he's not going to be on TV that much anyway.
I guess that's fair.
But it puts them on a little bit more. I love the fact that Roman barely wrestles.
The Money in the Bank in there.
Right. And that's like a third title at the moment. But I could see them. God, Seth really needs to win too. But I could see them like Brock getting his revenge or Roman getting his revenge, and he goes to cash in and just doesn't work.
Be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, it would be cool. I mean, if that music hits at the main event of SummerSlam, people are going to give a shit.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's good. Yeah. And who knows, I did think this, too, about the last guy in the match. This is really far-fetched. What if it's Cena? I mean...
Because he didn't announce a match.
He didn't announce a match. He said he was going to wrestle multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
He said this wasn't a one-off. They aren't doing him in theory until SummerSlam, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah. You think?
Why not? Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if they're going to waste him in this. The pay-per-view's already sold. The tickets are sold.
Yeah.
What's the point of putting John in it?
Agreed.
Gunther still doesn't have a match. Come on. Throw him in there.
Yeah. Fucking hell. All right, then next, also there's the women's Money in the Bank, which is Lacey Evans, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Asuka, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch.
I am very interested in this because I like the gambit of ladies. They're all ladies I like.
I have a sneaky suspicion it's going to be Lacey Evans.
I hope it is. I'm a big Lacey guy. I loved her before she's got
doing the whole not sure if she's a heel, not sure if she's a face thing.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I know it's not great.
Yeah,
it's just doing what she's told though.
Yeah,
but I love Lacey. I think been a big Alexa guy too. I think this is the match that shows if Alexa's going to do anything ever again or not. I like Liv. I know she's just kind of there, but
she's not there yet. But I'm enjoying what she's doing.
I like her too. And then you add in Shotzi, who was okay. And then isn't Aaliyah in it now?
This is on. I don't know.
Oh, okay. And then you got Becky. Becky will make it fun. And
then of course you got the two newcomers, Shotzi, who's pretty good in her own right, and Raquel Rodriguez, who.
Oh, Raquel, yes.
Stop smiling, all so much.
Yeah, I do like. Raquel, I like her.
Me too.
I think she's good. I like it because it's a little more. The men's is very who you expect.
Pretty much.
But the women's is a little goofy.
Yeah, they really only push the same couple people all throughout the year. So
right. So I think this is the time. If the men's match isn't going to give us that new face, which I don't think it's going to. Yeah. I think it will be Seth or Drew. I think the women's could be the one to do it. Give it to Lacey. I think it should. Give it to Lacey. Becky doesn't need no freaking briefcase.
No.
Give it to Lacey. I think she's who should get it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm with you.
She's fun. Or if you're going to restart Alexa, which I don't think they've fully given that thing of are we going to give her the big push again? I don't know if they're going to, but they could. This would be a way to do it. So, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Honestly, that's why Money in the Bank is one of my favorite events of the year.
It's the only other time, like the Royal Rumble, where it feels like...
It could be anybody.
It could be anybody.
Yeah.
It really could. It's hard in wrestling to get that. It really is hard.
Can you believe it's already been a year since Big E won?
That's gross.
Yeah. But kudos to him. He braces off and he can move his neck.
Saw that. Yeah, he's coming along good from what the reports are.
Yeah, right on, because there was potential fear that it wasn't going to heal properly, but
yeah,
untrucking Big E. Okay, and then so we also got, which is actually I think has been a fun build: Ronda Rousey versus Natalya. Natalya as a heel, the being like the heel she's been doing as the Natalya I like.
Yeah, have you seen you've seen the tweets back and forth, right?
Oh, of course.
Oh my God, they're awesome. They're
Natalya is stepped for gainer since she introduced her assistant.
Yeah, they're so vicious. It's awesome. Like I kind of love it.
It's great.
But it's another. It's the same as Bianca and Carmella.
This is why you put somebody in the ring with Natalya with Ronda, so you can get that good match. So you can make your champ look strong. Because remember, Ronda only has 1 year of wrestling under her.
Correct. And Ronda's still rough sometimes.
Yeah.
But this will be fun. It'll be good. Natalya will work and Ronda will look really good doing it.
Now, this is the match I'm looking forward to. Usos versus the Street Profits for the titles.
Let's go. This is it.
Usos finally lose, you think?
God. Maybe. I don't know, man. Maybe now that Randy's out for the year. If Randy was coming back at SummerSlam, I'd say no. But now that Randy's out, I mean, they know WWE is not dumb. They know they have an all-star in Montez Ford.
100%.
He is a future main event all-star.
Yeah.
And Dawkins is going to Marty Jannetty the shit out of this. I like him. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He is gonna be Marty.
Somebody
has to be Marty.
I think he's going to have a better run than Marty, if I'm being honest.
Totally. I think he will too.
I think he's going to be sticking around in like mid-card.
Well, and I could see him also being very New Day-ish, where he's kind of always hanging out with Montez, even if Montez is the famous, like the super popular, I get the belt or the. Yeah, I'm excited. I think they got to go for it. I think strike while the iron's hot.
Agreed.
The Usos are going to be hot just by being with Roman.
Yeah,
it's fine, and then you can get a rematch at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they should do it. Or if they're going to wait and flip them at SummerSlam, then I get it. But I mean,
give me a lot of SummerSlam, please.
That's where I'm thinking, man. If Roman's not on the card, I mean, Roman screwed Randy and Riddle.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Roman screws the Profits, then there you go. You have a good ladder match or some sort of gimmick cage match, tag match at SummerSlam.
Actually, I think a cage match would be pretty fun. Because it's not often you get a cage match with a title anymore.
And you could get the big-ass frog splash from Montez off the top of the cage.
Vince, if you're listening, which you probably are because we know how you like to bug WWE fans.
Yeah, that would be, I mean... I love the Profits so much. They're so great for wrestling.
100.
Their pop when Cena showed up on Raw to do the little vignette. The crowd, I mean, was they're so popular.
Yep. So because they've got the smoke, right? They're as charismatic as they freaking get.
Yeah, and the Red Solo Cups thing is so clever. It's so clever. I don't know. I'm excited though. I mean, this is exciting. I'm probably the most excited for that match.
Me too. I'm on the same level of excited for Money in the Bank matches as I've been every time. But these two are going to have a banger of a match.
Yep, I'm excited.
And then, of course, you have Theory defeating Bobby Lashley for the title, probably. No, I've actually heard people saying that Bobby Lashley's going to win.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Why does Bobby need the undercard title?
Something to do.
Ugh. God,
but also with no heavyweight title.
Oh, Soda, don't.
Right? That's probably what they're doing.
Ugh. Come on. Why not have
themselves into a corner?
I know. It's because they don't want him to have the belt against Cena. Gross. I hate this. I hate the idea of Bobby beating Theory.
This is a match on this. This no offense to these two, they are good. This is probably I'm going to make dinner match.
Well, I'm such a huge Theory fan right now. Like he's in my top 5 guys I want to watch.
Oh yeah.
So but Bobby could not be any lower.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Because
I'm so high.
He was better as a heel, let's just face it.
Oh,
Bobby Lashley's a natural heel.
It's so bad. It's not gonna work. I can't believe WWE did this again.
Yeah.
It's just I know they need baby faces, but this is not the one to do.
Or if you're going to keep him the same as he was, that's why the people were cheering him.
Right. Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that he might beat Theory and take the belt and God, so that's horrible.
It's a match that I'm just looking past and looking forward to the Theory scene of it.
Yeah. So what do you think they're gonna do with Omos in this? I mean, could he win this thing?
I hope not.
They have put so much into building him up.
This is also
much soda
with him losing without making him look weak.
I totally agree, but man,
I'm curious to see how far he goes in this match.
Well, my assumption is that they'll start the feud with Riddle in this match, or that's where my head is. My head is that SummerSlam it'll be Omos versus Riddle. Ugh, I know, but they have so much time invested into them. You know how WWE is when they're building and building and building. They either what?
Hello, Great Khali.
Yeah, I think he's. Dude, I think they're gonna do it. I honestly, I might say that Omos wins this fucking briefcase. I know it's sick. It's sick. I think he might do it.
I don't know.
I think he has just as good a chance as Drew does.
I like the idea of the big monster like Omos. I do. I just wish it was the monsters who could work.
Yep.
Basically,
I know. And
that example, even though he's green in the gills, the Giant in WCW was a big man who could go.
You know who another guy is that I think is, and maybe it's going to be his fault because Omos is here and he was too late, is Shanky. Yeah. I actually don't I think he's kind of neat.
He's a goofball.
I think he's goofy. Eventually that'll drop. So like I get it. He's in the WWE system right now doing his thing, trying to show if he can actually get this off the ground. But he moves okay. And I think he's okay. Like I watch Shanky and I don't get bored. I mean, I don't get into it, but I'm not like where Omos comes on TV and I'm like, get away.
For me, it should be Veer in that role on Raw.
I know. Right? What are they doing with
how
Veer?
Much months of push for he's coming? Yeah,
I like Veer.
Agreed.
I think Veer is awesome,
and he's funny on Twitter.
Oh my god! I think he's awesome on Twitter. I like Veer so much. Why is he floundering? What are they doing? Come on.
I think it's just a matter of too many giants.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, WWE is kind of in a little bit of a giant phase right now. They kind of go on their ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty interested in like you said, Money in the Bank's interesting. It always has the 2 good ladder matches. And we're going to get a great tag match.
The other matches because surprisingly, even with the shit build most of the time, matches are pretty good.
Of course. I mean, how could you not? You have 8 guys with ladders.
I'm talking in general. Like even
in general, yeah.
Bianca and Carmella match being good too.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited. I think it'll be all right. Final predictions. Soda. Here we go.
Okay.
Let's run through. So you're doing
Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair.
Yep.
Okay. Money in the Bank. For men, I don't know. I'm sticking with the Riddle train.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say Omos is winning it.
You're gonna go the wild card, okay?
Yeah. Again, that could change depending on who the last person is. But
yeah.
If it is Ezekiel, I could see him winning it. I think they like him a lot. But,
maybe.
You know who else I think it could be? Corbin. Or Madcap. I wouldn't mind them throwing See, this is the other reason. If there's 8 guys in this, why throw a guy or 2 in there that isn't going to win, that just wants some exposure. Like,
Yeah.
put Madcap in there. So what? Who cares?
Mustafa Ali.
Or somebody, yes. I like Madcap, but all right, let's stick on that.
So women's Money in the Bank. I think we both had Lacey on that one.
Yeah, we both have Lacey.
We both had Ronda for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the Street Profits for this.
I think I'm going to roll Usos.
Okay.
I think they'll lose next pay-per-view.
Okay. And then Theory Lashley.
Oh, God, please don't say it.
No, I think I'm gonna. You know what? I think I'm gonna lean towards Theory because, in all honesty, I think you could get a good program with that belt with Cena because of the history he has with the belt.
Right.
So
I think the belt with Cena is more fun.
Yeah.
And
Cena better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's more fun. Like, again, what does Bobby Lashley need the U.S. title for? Like, who's he going to wrestle?
Well, yeah, unless they go the route of keeping Roman with both belts and they want a dominant champion on Raw, that's the only reason I can see him winning. And I honestly wouldn't put it past them either. This is WWE freaking E before. Remember, they gave Zack Ryder a one-night WrestleMania Intercontinental Championship win.
That's true. God, that sounds so bad.
Right? So
it would be awesome if Theory could go over on him, though. That'd be great.
Yeah.
It'd be, I don't know. We'll see.
I think they're strapping the rocket to him.
To
Theory.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I think he's everything Vince likes.
Yeah.
He's everything they all like, and I like him. I mean, I get it.
I like him too. If he doesn't lose on Saturday, I think he's going to lose the U.S. title when he's going for the world title.
Sure.
If that's the route they're going to go.
Right. I'm excited. Yeah, it should be an interesting pay-per-view. It's kind of up in the air. A lot of up in the air stuff. A lot of straightforward stuff, which I can take. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, which is, I wouldn't expect from it's sad to say Money in the Bank is a B pay-per-view. Well, I think it should be an A1. But that's what you expect from
a They're trying.
Yeah.
Just scrap the Survivor Series and make this in November or whatever, or figure it out. Scrap Survivor Series. It sucks. All right, that's my last thing.
Yeah. Well, okay, I will say this. If you're going to commit to Survivor Series, don't fucking half-ass it and have people who fighting for a brand when they were on the opposite brand just 3 weeks prior.
I know.
You're going to do it fucking right.
Just take the top 5 heels and the top 5 baby faces. Who cares?
Amen.
Who cares? That's all we want to see. That's when it's at its best, when that pay-per-view is one really important 5 versus 5 match.
Or you have the champions involved in the match. You don't need title matches that match.
Right.
You could have the world. You could have the WWE champion or the Universal champion involved in the match. The tag champions involved in the match. Like, make it the battle of the champions.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, because then
I'm into it.
Your top guys. One tag team on each team and 3 singles and 3 singles.
Oh, that's a clever idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like
it's kind
that.
of how they used to do Survivor Series matches back in the day.
And especially if Roman and Brock both have opposite titles.
Yeah, there you go. That's one way to do Raw versus SmackDown. Your title winners versus our title holders.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
That's a way to do it.
Yeah.
And then, they have to create some sort of stakes.
Yeah, but and I'm not gonna lie. When they were doing Raw, when they did the year Raw SmackDown versus NXT was probably the most hyped I've been for a Survivor Series in a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm excited.
Yeah. No, me too.
I'm more excited now than I was expecting to be.
And where can everybody find you being excited?
At Dusty Buke on Twitter. That's where you can find me. Where about you, Soda?
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Soda_the_Saxman. You can find me all over the Northern Entertainment Group here. Tomorrow night, myself and Ben, we are going to be reviewing, because it is Independence Day weekend for you folks in the United States. We're going to be talking Independence Day, which means after we stop recording, I'm going to watch that movie for the first time in 21 years.
Oh, yeah. What the hell is that smell?
Yeah. No,
that's why he's dragging the alien through the desert, and Will Smith talks shit to him the whole time.
I remember that. The only time I ever watched it was my grade 8 social studies teacher brought the movie in, and we watched it over 2 days. That's the only time I've ever seen the movie.
I mean, I haven't seen it in
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in 20 years, but as a kid, I watched it a lot.
Yeah.
A lot on VHS.
I'm very well aware of the mythos, and I do know it's a good movie. I'm looking forward to it.
It's fun. You'll enjoy yourself.
So yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me. So on behalf of myself and Dustin, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts on the upcoming Money in the Bank pay-per-view are, and what the this past weekend's Forbidden Door was, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do next year again, but in Japan.
Yeah, I think that's probably what they'll do.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining, and we will see you next week in between the ropes in the middle of the squared slice. So long, folks, and have a good evening.